Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Bean. That's the most he'll do all day right there. All right, well, thank y'all very much for having me, and I hope y'all enjoy our time spent together today. I'm real tickled to be here, and I can't tell you how excited I am just to see how this all turns out. So anyhow, I'm gonna start out with a number. I grew up down in Georgia, still live down in Georgia, and so I'm heavily influenced by a big fan of the Skillet Lickers, and of course when you listen to the Skillet Lickers, you're either a fiddle player and you really fall in love with Clayton McMitchin and Low Stokes and Gid Tanner, or you're just a poor soul like me that just loves a good singer. And Riley Puckett, he did all the singing or most of the vocals with them boys, and I love tracking down what Riley was into, and because he was pretty eclectic and seemed to choose songs that I think that the women liked, and so that's what I try to do, a little bit of that old crooner business. This is one Riley recorded back in late 20s, and I think it's a funny song. It was wrote in America, but it sounds like it's from overseas. It come from overseas from a song called Wall a Swan. And apparently that phrase, well, a swan, means, well, I'll be darned, you know, or everybody's got their own expression, you know, well, dadgummit, you know, but this was called Giddy Up Napoleon. My name is Joshua Ebenezer Fry. I know a thing or two, and you can bet your boots to do. You won't catch me, cause I'm too darn sly. Well, I once met a bunco man, I always got the best of them. I once met a couple on the Boston train. They said, how are you? I said, that'll do. Run right along with your old skin game. Well, the swan must be getting on. Giddy up Napoleon, it looks like rain. I'll be darned, the butter ain't churned, but come in when you're over to the farm again. Well, we had a big show here about a week ago, pitched up a tent by the old mill dam. Ma said, let's go in, see the sideshow, just take a peek at the tattooed man. Well, I seen a cuss look sharp at my pocketbook. He says he'd give me a 10.45. I said, you darn fool, I be the Costaboo. Now you're arrested just as sure as you lying. Well, the swan must be getting on. Giddy up Napoleon, it looks like rain. I'll be switching, the hay ain't pitched, but come in when you're over to the farm again. County fair. I took first prize in a load of some squash. Stopped at the cider mill, coming over by the hill. Come home tighter than a drum by gosh. Well, I was so darn full, I give away my old bull. Dropped both reins clean out on the field. I got home so darn late, I couldn't find my barn gate. Ma said, Joshua, you ain't possible. Well, the swan must be getting on. Giddy up Napoleon, it looks like rain. I'll be darned, the butter ain't churned, but come in when you're over to the farm again. All right. Thank y'all. Okay, so that was my warning song right there. Now, if you didn't catch on that I just like to have fun, y'all. And so, if you're looking for some hot fiddling, you just hang out a little bit. There's plenty of it coming. This one right here, I sure hope I can get through it because I think it's a funny song, and it was a jazz standard for so long. A lot of people, you don't hear it much anymore, but we're blessed. The boys I play with, the Georgia Crackers, we just specialize in music that would have been recorded and played in the state of Georgia around the 20s and 30s, and that was a good time for the state. there was this huge mixture of black and white artists, and really I think they were just really discovering what American music was, and trying to create their own sounds. But of course everybody had that country influence, and jazz was really kind of coming around. And so this song right here, I think it's a great little tune. It's called, anybody ever heard the Darktown Strutter's Ball? That's a good one. Let's try it. I don't know that I can get through it, but that never stopped me. All right. Well, I've got some good news, honey, an invitation to a highbrow ball. It's a very swell affair. Well, all the highbrows will be there. I'll wear my silk hat and my flat tail coat. You wear your Paris gown and your new silk shawl. There ain't no doubt about it, babe, we'll be the best dressed in the hall. I'll be down to get you in a taxi, honey. You better be ready about 8:30. Now, dearie, don't be late. I wanna be there when the band starts playing. Remember when we get there, honey, two-step law, we're gonna have a ball. We'll dance out both of our shoes when they play them Jelly Roll Blues. Tomorrow night at the Darktown Strutter's Ball, we'll meet our high-toned neighbors, an exhibition of a baby doll. Each one will do the best just to outclass all the rest. There'll be dancers from every foreign land, a classic buck and wing and a wooden claw. We'll win that $50 prize when we get out and walk the dog. I'll be down to get you in a taxi, honey. You better be ready about 8:30. Now, dearie, don't be late. I wanna be there when the band starts playing. Remember when we get there, honey, two-step law, we're gonna have a ball. We'll dance out both of our shoes when they play them Jelly Roll Blues. Tomorrow night at the Darktown Strutter's Ball. Tomorrow night at the Darktown Strutter's Ball. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. While y'all are clapping, make welcome. I've got a real good friend of mine. He's basically a brother. Adrian Powell. For those of y'all don't know Adrian, he's a fantastic person. And he just happens to play the fiddle. And I love getting an opportunity to play with him. And I was so tickled to know that Adrian was part of the staff up here because he deserves it. Adrian's worked a long time at that fiddle. And he's just about got it. He just about got it.
Adrian, just reach out there.
Sure. Yeah.
Slide this up.
Sounds good. You're just not gonna know. Strum that guitar. Bring Adrian up a hair.
Everybody feel good about that? Adrian and I used to play in a band. We played in a couple of bands together, and I'd say we still got a band. Maybe we're on reunion tours these days. We might get one job a year or something, just to say we still got a band. But Adrian and I, we used to play in a band called the Old Time Serenaders and the Pea Ridge Ramblers. We always did well in West Virginia. It's proud to be back here. Actually, we started to send a memo out to the fan club and thought we'd get everybody together, with the local chapter there. But one of the fellas was sick and the other, and he had to work, so we didn't get it together. But we are tickled to be here all the same. I'd like to do Adrian and I, when we got together, first met and all that, we all was running through songs that we all knew, but we really knew we were brothers of another mother when we started talking about G.B. Grayson and Henry Witter. Anybody listen to G.B.'s incredible. I don't. He just deserves to get any credit and all the credit that he deserves. Any Ralph and Carter Stanley fans, if you don't know who G.B. Grayson is, you're not a Stanley Brothers fan, and I mean that sincerely. Them boys really took a lot from G.B. Oh, that deadened down a little bit. I like that a lot.
Sound like it was ringing a little.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So anyhow, we're gonna do one of GB's songs. It's called "Always Been a Rambler," and I really like what Adrian does here. It sounds good. So hope y'all enjoy it. All right. Well, I've never gotten a chance to do John Henry in the state of West Virginia, but I'll be here for, I guess, 3 or 4 days. I did it last night. I'm gonna do it again today, and I'll probably do it again tonight and tomorrow. And when I leave out of here, and when they fly on me on that bird, I might do it again. I believe West Virginia claims state. They claim John Henry, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, John Henry's a classic. Period. I mean, that's daggum. Well, if they open up the daggum vault of country music, John Henry's in there. But I really enjoy Hallow Brown's version. Anybody listen to any Hallow Brown? Hallow was cool, real cool. And so Hallow had this thing where he'd do a falsetto. And falsettos are hard for a man to pull off and actually be respectful, you know. I mean, Bill Monroe did it, you know. But other than that, I don't really like men that do falsetto, and so I don't really know why I do it, but I just do it. You know, it's really not my problem; it's y'all's, and I hope y'all don't have a problem with it. And this, so here we go. This is a little squirrely version of Hallow Brown's. John Henry. pretty boy sitting on his mama's knee. He picked up a hammer and a little piece of steel. Said, this hammer gonna be the death of me. This hammer gonna be the death of me. Mr. Johnny went up to his captain. You know I'm a Tennessee man. Before I would let this old steel drill beat me, I'll die with my hammer in my hand. I'll die with my hammer in my hand. John Henry went up on the mountain. He looked on the other side. Oh, the mountain was so tall, Johnny was so small. He laid his hammer down and cried. He laid his hammer down and cried. Mr. John Henry Shaker said to him, I believe this mountain caving in. Oh, John Henry said to his shaker, little boy, that's all my hammer pulling wind. That's all my hammer pulling wind. Mr. John Henry had him a little woman. Her name was Polly Ann. Poor Johnny got sick, Lord, had to go to bed. Polly drove that steel like a man. Well, Polly drove that steel like a man. Mr. John Henry said to his shaker, Shaker, I guess you better pray. Tomorrow gonna be your burying day. Tomorrow gonna be your burying day. All right.
Hey, Tim, I'm not sure this is one of the
B? Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it looks like it's, the image is frozen there, so.
Oh,
It's okay, good, yeah. All right, it was stopped earlier, okay. All right, good.
maybe he was just staying still.
All right, thank y'all for that warm applause. There went that echo come back, didn't it? What happened? I don't understand. Was it the John Henry's falsetto got it?
Me sitting over in the shade.
Oh, Bob's trying to take a day off. I like you, I respect that.
Put a little bit in there when you sing it, that comes from the top.
Oh, wow, that's work.
Try to make you sound good.
Now, you've worked too much. No, that's, all right. We're going to go back. Remember I mentioned G.B. Grayson. Yeah. I like it, so boy. We're going to do another G.B. Grayson and Whittier tune. This is a great song. It's called Saw a Man at the Close of Day. Take one. I saw a man at the close of the day standing around the grocery door. His eyes were parched, his lips were parched. I viewed him o'er and o'er. His little son stood by his side, and unto him he said, "Oh, father, mother, sick at home, and sister cries for bread." no more. Take warning, don't marry a drunkard. But if you want to do it, I think you got the pick of the litter here. Just been a hearse, roll slow life by. No wife nor children near. They've gone on this foul murder and left this world of care. Thank you, thank you. All right, we're gonna do you one. We're gonna do you one here. That's man, I tell you. Well, I first heard the Skillet Lickers do it, of course, and they did a fine job of it. And I've always thought this song was a pretty laid-back number until I got around Mr. Jake Crack and his Bing brothers. Y'all didn't know, but he had those Bing brothers. They're his offspring. And they dadgum tore it up, but this is our little version of laid-back Hell Broke Loose in Georgia. And I hope y'all enjoy it.
Out of Georgia.
Yeah, they broke it out of Georgia. It left that station. That thing's got squatters' rights up here in West Virginia now. But fiddlers I play with, they just don't like that A minor. I used to try to take that A minor and put it in there, but you know, it don't take much to slow me down or distract me, and so evidently I think the reason they kept it out of there in Georgia is it can have a tendency to slow the timing down a little bit, and so holding the C on that that third part, I guess it is, or second part, get confused. Kind of keeps kind of the feel. A lot of times when I'm playing that song, that's a great example of the guitar. You know, the different kind of rhythms that you can do. You can kind of create this like a palette. You know, kind of like this imaginary kind of cloud for the fiddle tune to kind of just ride on. You know, and then of course you can always do kind of those little close, like, you know, kind of chop it a little bit, and that kind of helps push it. But with that song having that many parts, you, as a guitar player, you're just playing C for as long as the beer stands, and so you just have to have a little fun, you know, mix it up a little bit. And so That's my little. Hey, look here. I'd like to switch gears and bring up some friends to help me play some other songs, some country music. We've got Chris that'll join me on dobro, and Tim said he'd help me out on the bass. And we thought maybe we'd do a couple of tunes that kind of in that vein of Riley Puckett and Jimmy Rogers and kind of that kind of style. If y'all want to hear some of that on a Thursday afternoon. Yeah, better. It might. I don't know.
No, I mean the sound. He's doing something.
Oh, okay.
Your voice sounds better. I'm sorry.
So this one would be in C. It's a key of C. It's called Old Pal of Mine, or just Old Pal really. It's not Old Pal of Mine. It's just a song called Old Pal.
You won't give me no more cookies now.
I was fixing to say, you better pass them things around. Man, these guys are fast. I thought I could tell y'all a story before they got up here. I want to tell y'all something. I flew up here, all right? I like driving, but flying is an adventure. It always is. And so I come up from Atlanta. They got me going into Chicago. And when I got off my plane there in Chicago, they put me off on the Terminal C. And so I get off my plane, and man, the terminal was so nice. There was natural lighting coming in. It was big and wide. It was just airy. It was real nice. I mean, it is O'Hara, so it should be fancy, and it was. And man, they had nice high-end restaurants. I mean, everywhere. They had them department stores selling all the nice stuff. I mean, they had Coach bags and Swiss watches, such. And I looked at my ticket. I said, oh, okay, I got to get on the plane going to West Virginia. And so I said, I need to go to that. It's Terminal F. So I started on my way, you know, going to Terminal F. And the closer I got to F, Terminal F, it just seemed like the airport kind of got smaller and darker. And I noticed that the stores and stuff changed. There was few of them, not a lot, and no more restaurants. And I got to a point. I said, "Daggum, am I about to herd me out of here? Am I about to get on a bus or something?" And I come up, and the closest thing to a restaurant was a daggum refrigerator. It said "grab and go," and you got to get a cold sandwich. And I said, "Well, I want a cold sandwich." And so I said, well, maybe I'll sit up at a bar or something. I found the bar, but I've never seen this. The bar was help you. It was like get it yourself. It was like you buy a cup or something and fill it up. And I said, are you kidding me? I've never. On your way to West Virginia, they're kind of like, just, you know what? Y'all just get your own beer. We're not sure. So I didn't know whether to be excited or embarrassed. I was like, I don't know. That's kind of respectful. And so I finally get over there to F terminal, and I was looking for F3, and I got to the F terminal, and it was a mixture of F and E, and it started on F5. I said, whoa, where's 3? You know, I need 3, and the fella said, no, you need to go down there. And I said, oh, they don't even let y'all be part of the actual F terminal. You got your own little thing. And so here I go down there, and it's this little bitty desk, you know, and and the crazy thing is on the right, you know, is the desk, and on the left is literally a door that leads you to the street where there's and so I'm looking, I'm like, I guess this is my last chance. You know? I've never had access like that, you know. It's like, God, it's weird. So I stuck with it. I said, no, I'm going down there. I'm going to go to West Virginia. So I get on the plane, and I sit beside this fella. He had his work clothes on. And when I say work clothes, I'm talking about his name was on his right chest right here. And I said, hey, friend, how you doing? He said, oh, good. And he didn't look happy. I said, oh, okay. I said, you just get off work? He goes, no, I'm working. I said, oh, well, what do you work on? He said, I work on planes. I said, oh, plane. What kind of plane? He said, this plane. I said, okay. I said, all right, well, I thought I'd make conversation. I said, well, what do you like about this plane? What's your favorite thing about it? You know, and he goes, nothing. I said, what now? He said, no, I hate this plane. I hate this whole line. The CJ 200, I think, well, he said, I hate it. It's a terrible plane. And buddy, I'm gonna tell you right now, that door that I saw back at the terminal I started thinking, man, I sure wish I'd have took that door. I said, what do you mean, man, it's terrible? What are we talking about here? I said, we still taxiing, you know, do I need to get off? Oh, no, it's fine. Plane's fine. He said, there's a plane down there in Greenbrier that I gotta go work on. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, that'll be good. I said, they get you going down there? I said, what, do you get to camp out down there in Green? No, I'll come back tonight. I said, you come back tonight? I said, what time you get home? He said, oh, I'll probably get back here around 9 o'clock, then I'll go home. He said, I got to be back at work at 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, what time did you start the day? 5 o'clock in the morning. I thought, holy cow. This joker right here don't like the plane. He hates it. He's been up since 5, and they got him on a plane. This was 7 o'clock at night, y'all. And I thought, I'm glad I ain't on that plane going back. I said, man, do you feel like you can work on this plane with a good conscience? He said, oh no, I'm gonna fix it. He said, it's sold out. I've got to get it back. He said, there actually ain't no room for me. I got to sit in the cockpit. I said, what do you mean you gonna sit in the cockpit? He said, no, I'll be right there in the cockpit. He said, pilot will be right there. He said, I'll have one of them things right there between my legs. I said, okay. I said, well, man, what would happen if the pilot was to pass out or something like that? He goes, oh, look here. He said, I trust myself more than any of these flight attendants. I'd lock the door. I'd fly this thing. I said, oh, you're a pilot? He goes, man, I've got 6 hours. I am not making that up. I said, you know what, buddy? I said, I think I'm just going to make my plans for. I started looking at the songs. I said, you know, I just need to work on my set list here. And he saw I was looking at. I love jokes. I do. I love stories and jokes. And I was writing them. He said, what are you writing? I said, you just gave me my first story, my joke. I mean, joke. He said, you want to take a picture of me? I said, no, I don't.
How was the flight?
It was good.
Was it bumpy?
It was. We went through some clouds. I can't believe how much moisture is in them clouds. But I had him beside me, so I knew if anything went wrong, he'd grab him. He'd go up there and tell the pilot to move over.
I always love it when the pilot passes out in those movies.
You know, them boys drink a lot in between flights. All right. Well, this song right here. This is. I'll give a little bit of tribute to Jimmy Rogers. Jimmy was awesome, and this is a song. It really has a lot of meaning to me. I mean, we've all lost loved ones. I mean, you can't go through this life without losing a loved one, and we meet so many good people along the way, and this life is so fun when you meet cool people. And I feel like Jimmy wrote this song in memory of a good friend, and I'll send this out to just anybody that we all just enjoyed having around us, and they've gone on. It's a song called Old Pal. And I'll kick it off. I'm thinking of you tonight, old pal, and wishing that you were here. It would make my weary heart so light, sweetheart, your face again to see. But in my precious life I find nothing comes right, it seems. Still you'll always be a pal of mine, though it may be only in dreams. The old pals are always the best, you see. New friends you can find every day, but they can't fill the places or ever be like the old pals of yesterday. sweetheart, your face again to see. I remember the nights when all alone we sang Sweet Adeline. No other face can take your place in my heart, oh pal of mine. The old pals are always the best, you see. New friends you can find every day, but they can't fill the places or ever be like the old pals of yesterday. Like the old pals of yesterday.
Yeah, for such a squirrely tune, thank you for riding along. Kid D will do that even better. It's kind of crooked there, hands on that one, but
You'll be fine. I send this out to, this is a Riley, I got this from Riley Puckett, and I thought the cool thing, or there's a lot of cool things about Riley. If you're into old crooners of days gone by, Riley's a fun guy to dig into and see the variety that he had as far as his arsenal of songs that he could whip out. And I thought Riley always did a good job of singing, you know, the best he could at the white man blues. I call it the white man blues because, you know, black man's got his hard times, there's no doubt about it. But white man, he didn't have it easy either. But, you know, at the end of the day, there's just, you know, music will hit you, man. And when it hits, you feel no pain. This one's a good one called, I'll send it out to Mike Bing. It's called The Evening Mail. About a poor boy that ain't enjoying life too good. So. I've been by the jail this morning. Heard a hot love brother moan. Well, I'm in here, right where I don't belong. I never done no wrong. I passed by his window. Oh, I could hear him moaning this song. Sitting on the inside, just looking at the outside, waiting for that evening mail. Lordy, what a feeling, there's just 4 walls and a ceiling judge. I mean that low down jail, separating me from everything but the evening mail. Jacksonville, I said, sweet mama, I'm here in jail. Honey, now don't fail me, won't you hurry now and bail me bail. It's been a year ago, I'm still on the inside, just looking at the outside, waiting for that evening mail. I'm like a ship without a sail. Almost every day, oh, he's still a moaning, just a sitting there praying. He said, I'm sitting on the inside, looking at the outside, waiting for that evening mail. Oh, right here, you know, country music is fun to follow it. You know, obviously I'm a nerd. There's sometimes, you know, when I was a child, I loved, you know, baseball cards and collecting all that and learning all that useless information of batting average and junk. But but I knew my life had cleaned up when I found music and I started researching all that junk. And I just love looking back and seeing, you know, who recorded what and maybe where they got the tune from and maybe different versions of songs. You know, how somebody might have done it and somebody else might have done it. And one cool thing that was going on in the late 20s, when Jimmy Rogers hit the scene, it blew things up. You know, before then, fiddlers had the rule of the roost. You know, fiddlers, he was the man. They still think they the man this day, but that's cool. Hey, it's cool. Let them do all the work. It's fine, whatever. But when Jimmy come out, things changed. And so people, you know, people caught on to that, and folks started trying to, you know, write their own songs to, you know, to compete with Jimmy and sell records. I mean, let's just be honest. And so this one was wrote by a fella named Hugh Cross, which was a guitar player and songwriter and a vocalist. And he worked a lot with Clayton McMitchen, which was a fiddler for the Skillet Lickers. And McMitchen actually gets credit for writing Peach Picking Time in Georgia. And Clayton and Hugh wrote this song right here. And it's called I Left My Gal in the Mountains. And it's a cool song. I hope you all enjoy it. Let's see. Oh gosh, now I gotta remember. Okay, maybe. I left my gal in the mountains. I left her standing in the rain. I went down to the depot, called myself a midnight train. Made my way down to Georgia. I landed in a gambling town. I got myself into trouble, Lord. I shot a county sheriff down. The jury read the verdict, murder in the third degree. The judge said, take this prisoner to the penitentiary. Put the handcuffs on me, put me on that Pullman train. I made my way to Atlanta, Lord. They tied me to a ball and chain. Gal in the mountains, I left her standing all alone. Well, last night I dreamed I got a letter. Oh, honey, won't you please come home? She said that she was so lonely, told me that her love was true. Then I dreamed I wrote a letter that I'm a coming home to you. When I woke this morning, eyes are leaning at Atlanta jail. Ain't no one here to love me, no, ain't no one to go my bail. There's just cold prison walls around me, the guards walk by my door. Well, I'm so sad and lonely, cause I never see my gal no more, no more.
Where'd we get you?
That's an interesting question. I'm actually just a huge fan of the Bing Brothers. Is really all I am, and Bing Brothers to me were, some guys, whether they have it together or not, some guys see a gal and they just go crazy trying to impress her. When I heard the Bing Brothers, which a buddy of mine introduced me, Todd Gladson used to play with Adrian and I and all. We just love music, and Todd used to go to, we're both from Georgia, he used to go to Cliff Top. He said, man, you gotta come Cliff Top with me. I said, man, I ain't going 9 hours from the daggum festival. That ain't happening. And he said, no, man, it's cool. And he's like, these boys, the Bing Brothers, he said, they party hard, man. And I was like, huh? And he said, yeah, and they play like, they play hardcore, man. And I said, well, let me hear them. So he put him, I think it's either Just for Spite or one of them, the woman y'all had with your brother and fiddling. And I said, God, dog, man, that's killer. And so we went up there, and I loved it. I thought it was cool, man. West Virginia was awesome. And the question was, what am I doing? I wanted to be friends with Mike and Tim, and then of course met Tim, and now I know Chris, and I'd known Jake before just on my own, and I just love being around these fellas. So they invited me up. Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'm going to stick in the Jimmy Rogers vein, and like I'd mentioned, there was a lot of folks that when Jimmy come out with his stuff, he changed the world. I'm going to do a shameless plug for the state of Georgia. He got all the fame, but Riley Puckett really changed the world as well. But the bottom line is, Jimmy influenced a lot of the country artists I think we all enjoy now. And one of my favorites is Lefty Frizzell, and so I'm going to do Jimmy's song, but by way of Lefty, and it's called Rough and Rowdy Ways. And it's key of C, boys. For years and years I rambled, I drank my wine and gambled, till one day I thought I would settle down. I met a perfect lady, she said she'd be my baby. We built a cottage in the old hometown. Oh, but somehow I can't forget my good old rambling way. The railroad train calling me away. I may be rough, I may be wild, I may be tough and condensed, but I can't give up my good old rough and rowdy ways. My good old rambling way. The railroad trains are calling me away. I may be rough, I may be wild, I may be tough and condensed. I can't give up my good old rough and rowdy way. It's alright. Sometimes I meet a bounder, Lord, who knew me when I was around her. He says, hey boy, come let's have a drink. Like moths to a damn flame, we go down to the pool room and get in a game, and then soon daylight's come before I've had a wink. I believe that was last night. Oh, but somehow I can't forget with my good old rambling way. The railroad trains are calling me away. Oh, I may be rough, I may be wild, I may be tough and kinda inside, but I can't give up my good old rough and rowdy way. Yodelee, yodelee, yodelee. That's the Squirrely song. I just want to make note that Chris and Tim are awesome, and we did not practice. We met. This is the way it goes, and I think all y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. We're like, well, let's meet up around 2 o'clock and run over everything.
Didn't happen.
We didn't meet up.
That's right.
So thank y'all for coming to our rehearsal. I tell you, man, I got this uncle hit hard times, and he's a farmer. He's got a little farm down there. Oh, nice. Somebody turned the air conditioning on. He gets a hard time. His boar died, and he had 2 sows that went into heat, and they needed help. So he went over and called his buddy, his neighbor there, and he said, "Man, I need your help." He said, "Bring him over here." And so he brought him over there to intertwine with his boar. And while they were doing the business, the old boy said, "Well, here, take him home." He said, "Look, now tomorrow when you get up, if they're wallering out there in the mud, it didn't take. But if they're out there in the sun, then you're fine." So the next morning he got up, they was out there wallering around in the mud, so he loaded them up in the truck and took them over to his buddies and did the business, and they, do what they do. And so they come back, and the next morning my uncle got up, he told my aunt, he said, "Honey, look out that window and tell me, are them sows out there wandering around in the mud?" She said, "No." He said, "Are they out there laying in the sun?" "Uh-uh." He said, "Well, where are they?" She said, "They're over in the truck honking the horn." Sows, right there. Sows. I went by there, it was a while back, I went by there afterwards, and I went to see them. So I walked by their pig pen there, and I heard them talking. I said, "What?" I heard one of them say, "Have you heard from your boar friend lately?" And she said, "Yeah, I had a litter from him the other day." That's Archie Campbell right there. Yeah, I love old jokes too. I try to find all that stuff as well. It's some of the old ones. It's hard to find good jokes without cuss words in it. And believe me, I love cussing. I love cussing. But I do enjoy a comedian that does not have to cuss and still is funny. And that's actually a challenge. So I like digging up that old stuff. Glad y'all enjoyed it. All right, now this one here, golly. This is another Jimmy Rogers. We're taking full advantage of our little 3-piece setup here for the listening pleasure of y'all. And, cool. This one's called Traveling Blues. I had a dream last night. Well, I dreamed a good gal had gone. Well, I woke up this morning. She really had done me wrong. Well, I know it's not fair, but my good gal has done caught it. Ah, she gone away, Lord, leaving today. I'm gonna bring my baby back. If that eight-wheel driver don't jump the railroad track, I'll take her from that man. I'm gonna bring her home if I can. baby's gone, but I know it won't be long. Soon we both be on that train, and my baby's coming home again. She's been traveling round, but she done turned her man down. That's why I'm going away, Lord. I'm leaving today. Gonna bring my baby back. If that it will travel, don't jump the railroad track. I take her from that man. I'm gonna bring her home if I can. I can. No, my baby is gone. I hope it won't be long. Soon we both be on that train. My baby's coming home again. She's been traveling round. Oh, but she done turned her man down. That's why I'm gonna wait long. I'm leaving today. Gonna bring my baby back. If that dead will drive it, don't jump the railroad tracks. I'll take her from that man. Gonna bring her home if I can. Alright. Thank you, Chris. Big hand for Chris right there. We put him to work, didn't we? I tell you, the slide guitar, Hawaiian guitar, dobro, resonator. I love singing with a fiddle because the fiddle is just an amazing instrument. It just is. I think I read somewhere, and I kind of agree with it, that the fiddle or violin may be the only instrument that can come close to the human voice. But I love singing with a dobro, man. Or that Riley was in a bad accident. He I don't know if you know this, Mike, but Riley used to play with a mandolin player called Ted Hawkins, and Ted's awesome. And Ted drove Riley around everywhere in downtown Atlanta, and so they got in a bad wreck one time, and Riley about died, and they hired a nurse to take care of him, and he ended up marrying her. And I think he was kind of aggressive with it. I don't think he let her leave. That's what his daughter said. He latched on. But I would imagine she liked hearing him sing. But all right, here's a song. I'm gonna shift gears here. Well, I've went through a lot of numbers.
How many gears you got?
It's hard to tell, really. So here's a song that's got nothing to do with Riley Puckett, and it's got everything to do with just having a good time. Except for the fella in this song, he did not have a good time. So that's his problem, not mine. Hey, can I get some help on bass?
Go ahead.
All right. A chicken farmer went out to take a walk one day. He came across a coop as he walked along his way. When all at once a rotten egg hit him in the eye. It was a sight he dreaded. Those chickens in the sky. Y'all can join in if you want.
chicken farmer since he was 24, working for the colonel for 40 years or more, killing all them chickens and sending them to fry. Now they want their revenge, ghost chickens in the sky. Those chickens in the sky. Their beaks were black and shiny, their eyes are fiery red. They had no wings nor feathers, man, these chickens, they were dead. They picked that farmer up and he died by the claw. They cooked him extra crispy and ate him with coleslaw.
See, I have no, I don't care.
Those chickens in the sky. Those chickens in the sky.
All right, are we having fun yet? Hey, I'd love to bring up, if Mike and Tim Bing would help me, I would love to have y'all do a number. Would you, Mike? Tim's on his way. Tim's a working man. Hey, Jake, you want to fiddle one or two, three? You ain't got no. You got anybody watch Iris, or she can come up here. We put her to work. Was he a smoker? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Kenneth's good.
Oh, here you go, here you go, here you go. It's right here. Hey, man, man, I might put you down. The songs that I was thinking about, the Arkansas Sheep, I did it to we don't have to start out with it. We could start out with Cool Willie and see.
This is obviously rehearsed.
Right now, actually. Man, where are you from?
West Virginia.
Sorry?
West Virginia.
No, I heard you. I said I'm sorry.
Oh, you're talking
That's a silly question. It really is a silly question. Silly question. I'll tell you, this gal asked me earlier. She said, hey, when's your birthday? I said, January 2nd. She said, oh, yeah, what year? I said, every year. She got all mad, huffy and puffy and all. She said, you look like you must be drinking. You look like you're drunk. I said, well, you're ugly. And tomorrow, I'll be sober. That's a W.C. Fields joke right there.
Oh, today's Pat's birthday, by the way.
Nope.
Pat, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
2 days ago.
No, today.
Well, what happened to Mike Bean? Where's Mike Bean at?
Behind you somewhere.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right, I respect that. I tell you, you got to be careful with West Virginia. We got off Adrian Powell picked me up over at the airport there, and well, I tell you, it's rough. We come out there and come outside there, got ready to get in the daggum, the car, and they're in the parking lot. Fella ran straight up to us out of nowhere. He caught me off guard, really. He said, "Give me all your money." So I pulled my wallet out and started handing him my cash, and I looked down, and Adrian was handing me a bill. And I said, what are you doing? He goes, "There's that 20 I owe you." No, man. Let's don't count. That ain't right. That crazy guy. I tell you, that guy. I seen him walk on down, and he got a hold of this old lady. I mean, it was terrible. I guess you couldn't hear too good, so he went up and down, head to toe, back and around, and all around, and everything in between. He was feeling all over trying to. And I heard him. He got kind of mad. He said, "Old lady, you mean tell me you ain't got no money?" She said, "Well, if you do that again, I'll write you a check." Can you see, fellas? I got this number right here. I told y'all a story a while back that my friend, he like a brother to me, Todd Gladson. We were working down in Stone Mountain, Georgia, and we were learning tunes and all. And gosh, this was back in the '90s, late '90s, I reckon. And Bean Brothers had just put out that one record, and man, I couldn't listen to it no more than I did. I played it from front to back, and I fell in love with a song called "Cruel Willie." And I hear that Danny Arthur is here, and Danny, I want to meet you because I was a big fan of yours. I thought y'all did a killer job on that song, and it's always been with me. And I announce, I don't know about you, Danny, but I always announce it as it's my only rap song that I've got. And so for the inner city kids, I always whip this one out and tell them, hey, white people's got gangster rap too. But this is a huge honor for me to be able to play it with these guys. I really hope we pull it off.
Kenneth, we got time for one more. You've gone way past good.
Thank you. Thank y'all for having me.
Kenneth's CDs will be for sale over at the conference room there after we're done. Monica's going to open up, so if you like some of his music, be able to go over and get it. But and we really enjoyed having him, man.
Yes.
Give him a big hand.
It ain't over yet.
Cool. I'm glad to get
Just
up.
Thursday.
All this music's getting in the way of my having a good time. I want to drink some more Coca-Colas. Like Jimmy Martin said, reach back in that cooler and get you a cold Coca-Cola. All right, which one of y'all want to kick it off?
How fast do you want it, by the way?
It's a mouthful. Let's do it laid back
Loping.
so I can get all the words. Loping is a great term.
to know before, I never heard a woman in my life. I did lean a little bit closer to kiss her, and she stuck him in the belly with a knife. Now the wind never flutters, ever gentle through the valley where the place of Willie sleeping in the ground. And the word never wrote upon a stone of women Duncan say that one too many women got it down. Ooh, well, ain't you sad, making all the women feel bad. Ooh, well, it's a shame you're causing all the women all the pain.
Play one more time.
Oh, well, ain't you sad, making all the women feel bad? Oh, well, it's a shame, causing all the women all the pain.
Thank y'all for